to the next slide. Yeah. So the steps. Now, I'll be using Airbnb as an example. I think I mentioned the idea time. Now, nobody has any right to trash an idea. Nobody have any right to trash an idea that has not been tested and proven. If you have not tested the idea, if you haven't tested it, you don't have, nobody have any right to trash it, because sometimes some crazy ideas, they're even the ones that turns the world around. Like you'll be like, oh wow, sometimes by the time you are doing ideation, trying to generate a solution for a particular problem, it may not be the one on your number one list, it may be the one on your 20-something list, maybe or the one on the 20 list. Let's say the idea you've been able to generate it, we actually like 20. It can be like the 19th one on 20. This is not what is it called? Like a constant something. I'm just trying to tell you that don't overlook any solution if you have not tested it. And whenever people are giving idea, let's say you are doing this with a team, you are not like, oh, what you are saying does not make sense. Now, in the 1997, this particular brand now, Netflix, was not really making sense to Blockbuster CEO. It was not really making sense. When it came to meeting, that can we collaborate? And the man laughed. Like what Netflix CEO was actually pitching was not really making sense to him. He could not really see. He doesn't have the foresight to see into the future. And then that was how the collaboration that Netflix was actually proposing to Blockbuster did not materialize. So you don't have any right to trash any idea if it has not been tested. The second one is looking around. That is market research. You need to know if this particular solution already exists. You understand, you need to be aware, who are your competition? This is going to help you know how you can, look out for their own loopholes, and if you have the resources, because, for example, now let's say you're trying to create a solution in the, can I say, a solution in the, okay, Spotify as an example. But before they came, people were already doing what they wanted to do, like iTunes and the likes, and people know them. Now, when Spotify came, do you know how they were able to like get also a bigger percent of the what's it called of the market share? Was because they innovated their what's it called, their revenue model, their own model. So now subscription, they were even giving free at some point. Then subscription model, their model. So you're not supposed to be scared of your competition. You just have to look out for how you can make yours better. And if you have the resources to compete with them, why not? So you need to look around, understand who your target audience is, all of those. Then the next one is trying it out. That's the prototype. Trying it out. So you need to gather feedback. So you know what this Airbnb did? They actually made a simple website for people, and they were able to like show pictures of their place, and people and let people book a stay, and they called it Airbnb, air, bed, and breakfast. So it was just simple. And the purpose of a prototype, number one, is to be able to know, okay, how many people actually want this solution? What are the things we need to get better? For people to just test it out. And that was going to lead me to testing, which is testing and iteration. You test, you iterate, wherever you need to remove that, that, okay, people does not really like from the feedback that you've been able to gather. Remove it, don't waste your time. Don't waste your resources. And the one that you think that, okay, we were able to gather this so feedback, and you say that, okay, 60% or 70% actually noted this. Work on it, you understand, work on it and get it better. Now, the next one is making it pretty. That's where the design and engineering, you understand, making it attractive to people. So because the fact that somebody is making an healthy snack, that you know that this snack is healthy, but the way it is, like the look is not giving, you don't want to buy it. So you need to make something that is attractive to people. That's where human psychology, like all of those things comes in. You understand color, this and that. So you design that, design and engineering, then drum roll, ready, set, go. That is what launch. You launch it. You launch it. So then you can now go to the getting it big. Yeah, getting it, that like scaling up. So as more and more people started using Airbnb, Brain and Joe, they had to make it even more better. That makes it more better. They added more cool stuff like experiences and long-term stays to make everyone happy. So the other one is around the world. That's diversification of services services. Like you must be able to diversify, like especially your should I say your revenue model. Not just you can have a particular business can be solving a particular solution, but you can generate revenue from that same business in different ways. You understand? So, for example, let's say, okay, there is Carrywise, there is Piggyvest. Now, I think I was actually going to talk about that in you trying to research. Now, in fact, the two of them are doing the same thing, but they had different things that make them unique. So, one of them will not allow you to break your box until that particular time that you actually like, okay, say that you need your money. The other one would allow you, but you have to pay a particular fee. See how they are doing it. So just look out how you can diversify your service. Like, so in fact, on a particular app, I think maybe Piggyvest, you are saving, you are also buying some slots. Like, I think there was time they will release slots for people to, maybe invest in agriculture, this and that. They can tell you that, oh, yeah, save for so thing, save for this and that. Then moving on, I don't want to dwell so much on this. Okay, making it better. There is always room for continuous improvement. Don't say because people like it the way it is, then you don't want to be, you're now rigid to improvements. You need to make it better. Then the next one is the end or not. End or not. I can talk about improvements in that too. Continuous, then expanding. Okay, can you take me to the yeah? I think I've been able to explain all of this. You can take me to the second to the last slide. Second to the last slide. Okay, okay. Yes. Now, not every, you're on the last, second to the last slide. Okay. Not every idea will thrive. I know that's okay. So remember that it's also part of the process to success. Now, there was a time that Google, this popular Google that they also launched a product, and that was Google Glass. It actually failed in the market. And they did not stop. Imagine they had stopped, then we wouldn't have Google right now. So don't stop because your idea failed. Just go back to your drawing board and see what you didn't do well. So if Airbnb had quit when they were faced with challenges, in fact, at a point it was very difficult for them to get investors because there were just so many laws around it. If imagine the idea was actually initiated, Airbnb idea of letting people, rent rooms, apartments, not hotel. Then maybe Airbnb came to pitch the idea to you that, oh, we like your house, so can you get your house listed on our website for people to actually, log in when they come for an event or something. As a Nigerian, as an African person that you are, I know that you will not want to allow. You'll be like, what if they are witches or wizards? What if something bad happened? So there were actually some challenges around it, but they didn't stop. They kept on, working on it and getting it better, making it better for use. So don't stop. The fact that the first idea you try out did not work doesn't mean you should stop. Not every idea will thrive, and that's okay. So remember, it's also part of the process to success. So thank you very much for the wonderful time. I can start receiving questions.
All right. Thank you very much, Odunola. This was
You're
a
welcome.
very, very interesting session.
Yeah.
Um, please let us know if you have a question in the comment section so she can answer you. If you have questions, just drop them in the comment section. We'll be waiting for your questions. But while we wait for questions to come in, so I'd like to ask, what does it take for an idea to thrive? I mean, if I have an idea and I'm feeling like, okay, can I do this? Can I get it done? What does it take for an idea to thrive?
Okay, I used to say something that in the entrepreneurship, there's actually no black and white. This is white, this is black. If you've done your research properly and you know your competition, you have the resources, you have the team, then it takes resilience, you understand? Resilience, it takes resilience, determination for you to make that idea thrive. Because the truth is you'll be faced with challenges. You'll be faced with challenges, but that doesn't mean that you should stop. You just need to look out for how you can get these challenges out of your way. So it takes resilience and determination because if you go and look at all of these brands, it wasn't like the idea. It was not like because the idea was exciting for them. They had to put in the work. They have to put in. You must be ready to put in the work and learn from people that has gone ahead of you. I tell people that experience does not always have to be. In fact, experience is not always the best teacher because there are some experiences that you may not live to see. You understand? So it is better that you learn from the wisdom of people that has actually gone ahead of you. You can learn from them. You don't have to experience something bad for you to be able to learn from you, for you to be able to learn your lesson. You can read books, you can have a mentor that actually like have gone ahead of you and have experiences too. So I think that answered it.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so
You're
much for
welcome.
that answer. Also, I'd like to ask, in your own experience so far, like, what has been like the most challenging? What has been the challenges you've been facing in your own experience? What has been your challenges?
Is it with my idea or what?
Yes, with your ideas, moving to plans, and executing, becoming a product, and all that.
You know, at the first stage, idea can be very, very exciting when you get an idea. But by the time you start doing the work, the excitement will just be like to just go back from level 10 to like level 3 because you are putting in on the work. So should I say should I say okay, like I'm actually trying to think what has been my challenges because if it is team, like that we have the resources for team, maybe the challenge can just be getting people, you understand, getting people to understand what you are trying to build. Maybe I would say that at the idea stage, maybe at the idea stage, but by the time you now develop a unique solution, people get it easy. But trying to convince people from the idea stage, because the truth is, nobody wants to invest into potential. They want to invest into things that is working. Like, do you understand? So by the
Yeah.
time it becomes a prototype, people can actually relate with what you are saying. So I can say maybe trying to convince people at like at the idea stage, they actually want to see it. They want to see it first before putting in their money, seeing that it works before putting in their money.
Okay. Hmm. Thank you so much for that. We have a question already. Someone wants to
Okay.
know. That's Lijop. Lijop wants to know, what does it take for me to be the rightful owner of an idea after I conceive it, considering I don't even have all necessities to start it yet. I mean, we have people that, they come up with an idea and then they tell two or three persons and then someone else takes it up and then executes it. And I mean, so he's trying to ask, how can he own his idea, even if he does not have the necessary resources to, execute.
Okay. I would say that actually resources is very important in this life. It can either be through human resource, you understand, like people. So when you have an idea and you know that this idea is working, you've tested it, I know that this idea is unique. You actually try to make it unique. You've innovated something. You can you can talk to a lawyer friend and ask the person what it takes to, own that, like patent it. You understand? Patent it. If you have a lawyer friend. But if you don't have, there are actually various ways, which is you partnering. There's one that we call something strong partnership. Partnering with a strong, let me say, brand, you understand, on that particular idea. So not having resources at all is actually a problem because there's actually human resource that you can leverage on, like people. You can leverage of people, on your team members. So for you to have to become a rightful owner of an idea, there are some legal things that you may need to do. Like there's also something they call trade secrets, like all these beverage company, like that companies. So they have their trade secrets, like they have something that makes that their drink taste that way that nobody knows. So it depends. It actually depends. So sometimes it can just be your what's it called? I think your strong engagement to concerning the idea. Like maybe you have this influence that people know that, oh, this thing is actually from you, from this social person. But then I would advise that you go the legal way. You understand? Talk to a lawyer friend about it. Ask what it takes to, be able to patent an idea. Because somebody can wake up tomorrow and the person have more money than you do. And they can see what you are doing, but nobody has patent it. They can take it, they can become the rightful owner.
Okay, thank you very much. So, what if I heard you correctly? You said we should leverage on human resources. I mean,
Yes,
leveraging on
yes,
that means trying to speak to them about the idea and convincing them into
yes.
supporting or investing in the idea, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that. All right, someone wants to know how can you start a team? How can you start a team, especially the first person, to help work on your idea without having anyone take it over?
Okay, number one is understand what you are trying to do, what your brand is trying to do. Understand the need of your brand. You are starting a food business, for example. Maybe the what is it called? Your unique solution in that food business will require a food scientist, all of those things. Write out who you need on your team. Who you need is not necessarily maybe I need my mother, I need my father, or this. Like I meant the roles, like, okay, let's say you need a content developer, you need a food scientist, you need this, list them out, then write out your own core values and see, because when you're starting a team, your core values, like it must rhyme. You understand? People will say that opposites in temperament or something, like opposites attract, but in values, it must be the same thing. You understand? So when you're starting a team and you know that, okay, um, your team will definitely want to ask, how do you intend to pay us? Or maybe they believe so much in what you're trying to do, but then they need something that, okay, that will actually make them to be part of that company, of that vision. It can be huge, giving them equity, though there are terms and conditions for that. You might need to speak to a lawyer about it. Giving them equity. Equity means shares, like them being a shareholder, be an owner of your company too, with a particular percent. So so setting up a team, know what you need on your team, know who you need, know your core values. And you need to sign an agreement with a lawyer, fine. You can do that because anybody can, change except they fear God, you understand, and then stick with the original plan that you had. So that you guys have both agreed upon.
Okay, are you done?
Yes,
All right, thank you very much. Thank you
you're
very much
welcome.
for that wonderful answer. So you talked about equity. Is there like I mean, you cannot just share your equity with just anybody that wants to just join the team and all that. So, what should be like
Yeah.
the requirement, or like what should be the requirement to, giving equity to some of your team members that wants to be a part of, or that want to help you execute your ideas, and all that?
Okay. I tell people that before you can say you want to give somebody a part of your company, that means the person is also into your vision. One, like the person is into it, and the person is playing major roles. You understand? Major roles in that company. There are some persons that will come and work with you in your company that you don't necessarily have to give equity to. You don't necessarily have to give them because they're working with you on a temporary basis. Let's say 2, 3 months. You understand? So you might need to speak to a lawyer about it. I tell people, me, I have a lawyer. I need to speak to a lawyer. Okay, this is it. This person is coming in, and maybe as a co-founder. That means we are both sharing the risks of the company. Not that somebody is just coming to work, or intern, and intern is coming in and you're giving the person equity. Why? So you need to look at what's it called, long term, and the person's commitment before you can say you want to issue equity to somebody in your company.
All right. Thank you very much, Adunola. This session was really, really great. I
Odunola.
personally a
Yes.
lot. I personally learned a lot from this session. Once again, thank you very, very much. All right. So, I think we have come to the end of this session. Please, this is to the audience. Would like to get your feedback from this session. We have the link to we have the link to that on the chat box. Just check the chat box. You see a link there. Please let's get your feedback on the sessions you were part of. Thank you very much. And also follow the companies, follow the Genesis headquarter on Instagram. The username is the Genesis underscore HQ. Kindly follow the Genesis company on Instagram and other social media accounts. Thank you very much for joining today's session. Once
Thank
again,
you.
thank you so much, Amara. Thank you very much. All right. So, to everyone that was part of this session, I want to say a very big thank you. And my name, once again, is BBME, Olutoye BBME, and my Instagram handle is BBME Olutoye. All right. So, thank you so much for staying to the end. This session continues tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the third day of this conference, and this conference is going to last till Friday. So please make sure that you join every session of these conferences because it has really been enlightening. I personally have learned a lot. I've learned a lot. These sessions have been eye-opening. So please tell other persons that you know to join this conference, and I'm sure that they will love it. All right. So thank you very much once again. Do have a wonderful night.